Zach's Super Infinity resuming after 3 good runs last preparation. Didn't quite get his nose in front, but talk us through what you thought of his first preparation.
I thought it was good. Every run was a good run. He drew a couple of awkward gates there and he doesn't help himself at the start, so he was getting out of his ground but running really good races. And then his last start he begun a bit better, put himself in the race. Just had to find a run there in the straight. It looks as if he had his chance and just peaked on his run, so one thing he's got to learn to do is run through the line. He's got that short, sharp sprint at the moment, but that only takes you so far and doesn't win you many races, so that's his challenge. But his trials have been decent. His Achilles heel is the start. He can quite often be slow out of the gates, and whenever you do that in any race here in Hong Kong, it makes it hard for you.
You were aboard in that most recent trial of his. He looked like he had a pretty good turn of foot in the straight over the last 300.
Yeah, he did, and I sort of just wanted to let him down and to see if he could run through the line a little bit more. And yeah, he's still not the finished product, but he's getting there, and he's obviously shown he's got some talent. It's just a matter of nurturing him, and Mark's doing a good job with his horses. He's doing a good job with his horse. He's not in a hurry with him. He's just trying to guide him along on his journey and allow the horse to improve as he's able to do so.
What's the theory with the cheek pieces this weekend?
Yeah, just we put them on him in a jump out, and he just seemed a little bit more focused and got the jump a little bit better. So with them on, we're just hoping he's going to be a little bit more focused in the gate instead of possibly looking around at other things that are going on.
You mentioned Mark Newnham. He's got off to a flyer this season. What is it about Mark's training style that's so suited here and what he's producing through these opening 2 meetings?
Well, I don't ride much work for him, so I don't really know what he does in the mornings too much, but his character is just very laid back. He's not flustered by anything. He's not worried about what anyone else is doing. He's just taking his time with his stable and his horses. He's got a nice handle on where they're at and what he wants to do with them, and I think he's just very comfortable in his own skin.
Amazing fun. I'm not sure you could call him an upset winner at sort of 15-1, but he flew under plenty of people's radars. How did you see that performance off what he'd produced in his trials?
Yeah, we were hoping he'd go to the races and show us something. We thought that he might need a little bit longer, and it seemed like that for the majority of the race. He was struggling with the rhythm of it, and it was only in the last 100 metres he sort of finally got his act together and seemed to get the job done. But he seems a lot sharper this season. His trials in Trong Fa have been nice. He's showed good speed and he's a little bit more switched on. So hopefully that's the case. Obviously he gets the step up in distance here a little bit and changing surfaces, but I don't see either of those being a problem. He's drawn well, but he just seems as if he's going the right way.
There are a few horses out of that race that have performed well in the opening couple of meetings here as well, so that must give you some confidence with where he's sort of at with how they've performed early too.
Yeah, it was a pretty solidly run race, and genuinely in fast run races the better horses win, and the form is a little bit more true and stacks up. So it was no surprise to see the form out of that race hold strong, and we're just hoping that our guy can just continue to improve.
Quickly on packing power from Wednesday night, he was impressive again. How much more do you think's in the locker with him?
Well, hopefully a bit. He doesn't feel like a natural sprinter. The 1200 metre races, especially at the Valley, they've been really hard for him to get into his rhythm early on, and he hasn't taken the corners out well. He's a bit gangly and off balance, but he's been getting the job done, and I like the way he let down on Wednesday night. But we'll get him back to Sha Tin now at the bigger track and try and get him out in distance, being a 4-year-old, head towards the Classic Mile if we can, and it'll be up to him to see how far he can go.
Karis, lucky impact lining up at the weekend, making his seasonal debut. He's only had 1 run and he was well fancied in the market. I know you didn't ride, but visually off what you saw off the video, how did you see his performance?
Yeah, I thought his first run was a good run. I have trialed him before in Chung Fa and I knew the horse a bit, so it wasn't a surprise that he ran so well first time out.
It looked like a pretty encouraging performance overall, the way he was able to run through the line solidly late.
Yeah, he looked like he finished off his race pretty well. He looks a bit like he do a few things wrong, but when he got the clear run, he was hitting the line strongly. and I think stepping him up over distance now, or 1400 will just be a bit helpful to him.
You were aboard in his recent barrier trial. His gate speed, he looked just half a stride slow away.
Yeah, like I say, he's still a young horse and he's still learning how to do things. So I think the trial will bring him on. He's got an okay draw, so yeah, they're just hoping he goes to races and performs to his best.
He's drawn barrier 7 of 11. Is it just a case with his gate speed and being a young horse, just riding him where he's comfortable in the run?
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, the 1400 will just give him his chance to find his rhythm. And yeah, let's hope he can run a good race.